morning. This is Coach Micah Lowe with Beyond the Flags with P&W Women's Flag Football. I am so happy to have this first podcast. This is our inaugural season, and I wanted to bring on two special young ladies. These are two ladies that were at our first tryout almost a year ago, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was mid-April, and ever since they came to that first tryout, they have been just super dedicated to our team, and so no better way to start the podcast without these two young ladies. So I'm going to introduce Lexi Wade and Jasmine Nichols.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm great. How you
doing?
Doing good, yeah.
Okay, so tell the girls or tell the audience, right? What was it like that first day, or even just before the tryouts, right? When you guys heard about flag football, what was going through your minds?
I had first heard about flag football when it was announced as a sport at P&W, and that was back in I think February or something like that. And I remember my dad had sent it to me, and he was like, "You should join." And I remember I just replied back saying, "You're joking." And then 2 months later, around April, Coach Micah was announced as coach, and I just I think it was the first day I had emailed him asking about the team, and yeah.
Okay, what about you?
I think that I saw about it on social media, and I was I saw the flyer for the tryout, and I was like, this would be something really cool to get into. And I was just finishing up, volleyball and everything. And I remember I went in and I was like, I'm going to make an impact. I'm going to introduce myself. And I went in and introduced myself to you, and you were immediately, let's go run routes in the gym, from the start.
Yeah, in sweatshirt and sweatpants, both of us. He
Yeah.
took us to the gym, and we just ran routes over and over, and we were dying.
Yeah.
Okay, no, yeah, I definitely remember that. What's been the biggest transition coming from, different sports, right? I know you came from softball, you came from volleyball, so what was it like for you?
For me, it transitions pretty well, because in softball I was an outfielder, and as in football I'm a receiver, so it's literally just catch the ball and run. So yeah, it transitioned pretty well.
Okay.
I feel like volleyball, it's a very different world. It's a non-contact sport, it's indoor. Football is very physical, and it's outdoor. There was a lot to adjust to, but I knew that the hard work would have to start immediately when we first met, to get up to, just to even play with these girls. So it definitely was a huge adjustment, but it's a different game, and that's what I like about it.
Okay. Now, take me through, what was the hardest thing that you guys had to go through in those first couple months when, we were getting up 8, 9 o'clock, we were going out to the hot gym, or we were going outside, right? What was the hardest thing of getting used to, the football conditioning?
I'd say it was just very fast-paced, and also a big problem for me was working on catching the ball super fast, because it's different than catching a softball. So I think that was the hardest part for me.
Yeah, I would agree. Just the catching, mechanics and all the techniques in general. Just getting more comfortable with it coming at your face. I feel like that's always the hardest part when you're first starting. It's just oh my gosh, I hope this isn't hitting me in the face. But once you get past that, and maybe you do get bumped a few times, then you realize it's not as bad. It's not that bad. So.
Okay. So I know, I think we had a Chi-Town Showcase at HTA. HTA is a flag football organization that I have in Chicago. We had a showcase in May of last year. I took you both there, right? That was your first ever flag football game. Take me through it.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning experience. I remember, the first game we had played, he just put me out on defense, and I remember I had no idea what was going on, but it was pretty easy to learn just by watching everybody else, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I remember we had this long drive up there, and I was like, all we have done is run routes. I have no idea. Not to Micah is just very he definitely explained a few things, but it was just I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know the rules. I'm just gonna play this like any other sport, or kind of how when I'm on defense, I'll play like I'm a basketball player. And that's kind of how I played. And we were thankfully like surrounded by really other good athletes, and they were just helping us through the games. I remember that first one we lost, but after by the end of the day, we got so much better, and it was just so good to get like just in a game. I felt like we were just running routes for a long time, and it was really like a different world. It was really fun.
Okay. So you guys both play offense and defense. What is your favorite, I would say, side of the ball to play? And what's your favorite aspect of the game? I'll start with you this time.
Oh, this is hard because it's like I was just talking about this with you. It's like two different worlds. You know, on defense, you're like, I want to get this ball. You're not going to make me look silly right now. But like when you're on offense, it's like I want to get this ball, and I want to celebrate with my team, and I want to like, you know, be that guy. And so it's like a different energy on both sides, and I go back and forth. I'm like, oh, you know, I really like defense more. I really like offense more, but I don't know. It's really hard for me to choose.
I got you. What about you?
I definitely say offense. Like just because I have more experience on it too, but defense is definitely a work in progress.
Okay, it definitely is. But I think, last week you had an opportunity to have a pick six.
did.
What was going through your mind when that ball was coming right to you, and you just had a free, like, just open space to score?
I was so excited, and then it wasn't actually.
It wasn't that.
Yeah.
So what actually happened was one of our rushers, Cheyenne Lipscomb, she got the girls' flag right before the ball actually got to you, and so they had to call it a sack, and so the ball was down right there. But you were in position, right?
Lucky for them.
yeah, you were in position. So. I know we talked about the things that do translate to football, right? What from your other sports don't translate to flag football?
The physical component,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah. I would say it's just like two completely different games. I feel like basketball is more like similar in that sense. You do have that physicality, like the spatial awareness, but volleyball, it's like your team's on that side, my team's on this side. And it's a completely different game. So the physicality was really hard to get used to.
Okay, no, of course. Now, so we went through the whole summer. It was mostly just us three, right? And then we got to, September, and we started practicing, and you started getting around other girls who have been playing for so long, right? Take me through what your thoughts were, right? The first, 10 practices when we're conditioning, doing push-ups, all that stuff, right? Take me through it.
I think that I just didn't want to be like the weakest link on the team. Like, I think I was like, I know I'm at a disadvantage from not having the experience, and I know that I'm a hard worker, so that's where I kind of focused. I was just like, you know what, every sprint we run, I'm going to run it the fastest. Or like if we're doing push-ups, I'm going to be cheering the people on beside me. Because if I'm doing what I need to be doing, like, you can't be doing the wrong thing if you're working hard. So I think that I was just like, as long as I do what I can and control what I can, the rest will come. The skills and the techniques will come. I just need to focus on, being a good teammate right now.
Well, for one thing, I think we fit in super well. I think most of the team actually didn't know that it was our first time playing flag football. So
Yeah.
I like that.
Coach Mike, I actually have a question for you.
What you got?
So this is obviously a more niche sport. It's just coming into, fruition. More people are starting to come in. We're at a new school, right? We're just starting it up at PNW. What was it like recruiting? What did you do? Because you guys are talking, you guys obviously didn't start out as flag football players. So what did you do to kind of decide on, who did you want on the team? How did recruiting go for you? And obviously it's much different than, tackle football.
Of course. So, I am blessed to have, HTA, which is, my flag football team in Illinois. We're the first ever travel flag football team in Illinois. So I have a pretty good, feeder system that I could recruit from. But when I looked for athletes that were at PNW, I just really wanted girls who wanted to play the sport, right? Who wanted to be coached, who actually loved football, and just always wanted to play. I'm always looking for size and speed, but again, if you just wanted to learn, and I think that I could coach you, that's what I needed. And so, like I said earlier in the session, Lexi and Jasmine, since day one, they've just been there on time, and they have taken the coaching, right? Even when it's hard, right? Even when I get intense in practice, right? Like, they come back the next day, and they're like, yes, coach. And so I think that's why these two have excelled so well, because, again, they just were so coachable, and I feel like they've taken it very seriously. But just recruiting other athletes, I just looked for girls who really wanted to play. Like, there was girls all in Chicagoland that, like, had been playing for 3 or 4 years, that, you know, wanted an opportunity to play, you know, in a very, like, structured system, like a college environment like that we have. And so, you know, that was it. And making sure that we had good student athletes. I think it was a little bit of a transition for some of the girls. But I think for the most part, you know, we have gotten that, you know, together. And I think that, you know, we have a very solid core group of freshmen that are going to develop very well over the next couple of years.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So what would you say, like reality versus expectations kind of thing? Like, what did you think was going to, flag football is going to be like compared to what it actually is? I'll start with you.
I'm not really sure. I mean, we're going into flag football, like, I really did not know anything about football in general.
Okay.
So, I don't really know.
Okay.
The only experience that I had was many years ago when I was in high school, playing in the Powder Puff game. Like, everyone would get so excited, but, like, the biggest concern was, like, what the shirt color was going to be. Like, it was all about the looks, and, like, there was no physicality to it. We had our athletes and we had people running the ball, but, like, none of us really knew the rules, and it was, like, the football team just coaching us for the day. So going into it and then seeing all the TikToks and the videos, it's like, okay, I know a little bit about this and I want to be a part of this, but I have no idea what to expect. So I think I left my expectations open. But yeah, I think the reality of it is it's hard work. It's tough. You will leave with bruises, scratches. You are sore. It's like, it is not just a lighter version of a tackle sport. It is so much more.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like hearing that. Okay, so you know, being a part of this first ever flag football team at PNW, what does it actually mean to you to be a part of our team?
I think that I've been a part of a lot of different teams that have been the groundwork of something big. So even with volleyball, we had many different coaches, and we had, at one point we had 7 girls, and we were just starting the program now. And I feel like with many different aspects of my life, like, I like to be a part of that. I like to be the start and set the standard and just help with, like, the craziness and the chaos at the beginning, and just kind of like wrinkling out all those things. I think that being able to share my experiences helps girls like that and that are going through the same situations through those tough times. So I really appreciate the, like, more than just the sport. It's like we're setting something so much bigger than what we are even doing right now.
I think it's very special being a part of the first team because we're really setting the tone, and I think a big part for me is knowing that there are young girls, like, looking up to us and learning from us, and
What do you want people to say about this team, you know, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when, you know, this is really an established sport and, you know, you're seeing on TV and you're seeing on the Olympics, right? What do you want people to say about this team?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, all the good things, obviously.
Okay.
I want them to, like, see who we are. Like, our team's so lively. We're so much fun to be around. Like, it really is a party at practice. Like, we are having a good time. It's like, we don't really have a lot of those, like bad days, because it's kind of hard when everyone on our team is just having so much fun. They're so funny, and, like, they're hardworking. So I think that we know how to play, but we also know how to have a good time while doing it. And I think that I would like that to be our going out saying.
Yeah. And I want us to see us, like, get better every single year.
Okay.
And we're great as it is, and it can only go up.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you think that this bond formed so fast? Because let me just say this. I get administration talks to me all the time. They're like, I don't know how you did it. We've never seen a team just bond so fast. Like, remember, we had the talent show in December, right? We'd only been a team for 3 months, and they said we rocked that show, right? So, and like everybody's been just like so amazed at like how well how well we work together. So yeah, what do you think happened?
I think in the flag world, there's a lot of respect for each other.
Okay.
Like, I know, like, I can only compare it with, like, the other sports that I've played, but in other sports, it can be a little bit competitive. You're coming for people's positions. This is our first year. We're just setting the groundwork. We have no idea what this is going to look like. We knew immediately we wanted to have a strong culture. We wanted to have that bond with each other. Like, regardless of, like, what happens in the spring, right now is where we focus on, like, who can we lean on? Well, who can we come to if we need help with like something in classes or like, you know, family stuff or whatever the case may be. I think just being like sisters is number one. And also having the flag world be so small. A lot of these girls like knew of each other or knew about each other's skill levels like before going in. And they all just had so much respect for each other. So I think that's a big part of it.
Okay.
I think we all really just have like the same mindset, and that's what gets us to get along pretty well. But like, yeah, there's like nobody on the team that I wouldn't feel like uncomfortable like having a deep convo with.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. All right. So then, who would you say is the funniest player on our team?
You go first.
For me, I would say Chrissy.
Chrissy.
She makes me laugh a lot.
Okay. Okay.
Chrissy is very funny. I feel like we do have a very funny team, so it's very hard.
Everyone's
but
really funny.
Cheyenne always has like the right comment at the right time. And for her being very, very quiet, it's just like when she does open her mouth, I'm like, you are so funny. Like, you need to talk more. Like, I wish she did. But like, it's just, I don't know. Like, anytime I'm around Cheyenne, she makes me laugh.
Okay. I love that. I love that. I've heard multiple people on this team could really be the funniest people. Like I feel like I ask this like to our team maybe like once every 2 weeks, and I get a different answer every single 2 weeks. So I don't know if y'all just firing off jokes throughout the week, but like I do laugh at practice. I do enjoy going to practice. So who would you say is the most competitive player on our team?
I had like an immediate answer for that, and it was AZ.
Oh, yeah. I think that AZ is very competitive, but I also thought Emma. I think that Emma can be very competitive. I think those two together can be dangerous on the same team, and then against each other, they can almost butt heads because they're just so competitive. But thankfully, we have a very healthy competition style, and it's always at practice, and it's like so cutthroat. And then as soon as we get out, hey, great game, great practice, like everything's good.
Okay, so speaking of competitiveness, right? Like, so what was our most? Can you think of our most competitive practice and what was it like?
I think it was just like recently, like in the past 2 weeks. I remember leaving practice so mad. It was like the week that we had the team split up, the entire week, same teams, and it was like everything was a competition. Ladders were a competition. Like any drill we did, it was like this team versus this team, 1v1, like. And I think that we were just getting so frustrated because we were going so hard at each other, and then it was like, okay, well now we're trying to call things. Now we're trying to see how much we can get away with because there's no refs at practice, so we're just trying to push and push and push. And it was like I would leave practice like, dang, like so mad we didn't win today, but like at the end of the day, like that's the team. That's what I want to walk away from practice. I don't want to be like, practice was just boring. Like, no, I'm mad about practice. I want to go back again tomorrow and beat them.
I got you. What about you?
I can't really think of like the most competitive because every time we scrimmage, like it's very intense. Like, but it's still fun at the same time. Like we get really into it, but at the same time, like we're just having fun.
Yeah,
I love it. So I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know what it's like in softball or volleyball, right? But like the trash talking that we do have is pretty intense, right? What was it like the first time, like you really saw like, an ISIS tell me, the coach, you suck, like you can't throw, like what was it like?
I think the trash started immediately from day one. Like I think that we were all getting to know each other, and I think Chrissy said that she could line you up because your barber didn't do it right or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's just like not that stuff doesn't happen in volleyball. You know, there's like a little bit of banter here and there, but like nothing to the point of like how we do at practice. And it was a little bit to get used to. I was like, I don't even know how to trash talk. Like, I need to learn how to do this so I can defend myself right now.
Okay.
Yeah, same. Like in softball, there was no trash talk at all. But so I'm not one to trash talk. But when it happens to me, to be honest, like I really don't care. Like it doesn't make me mad or anything. Like I just like stay content, you know.
Really? So even when I'm talking my stuff to you, Jasmine, it doesn't nothing.
Okay, maybe from you, from players, like it really doesn't affect me. But like you, like you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do people not see behind the scenes? Like, what do they, you know, we do well on social media, right? They see us at our games, right? What do you think people don't really think about that goes on for our team behind the scenes?
I don't think a lot of people see the bonding that we do. Like, and it doesn't need to be an official like team bonding meeting where we all get together. It's more so like those conversations where I just see like a teammate having a rough day and we pull them aside and talk to them, or like, you know, we all get together for someone's birthday party and we just like sit there and play games all night. Like, it's just like the things like that you can't replicate, that you miss about college years later. That's what we're going to remember. But a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people just see us having a good time or, you know, us doing our thing at practice. But I feel like we're very, very bonded emotionally.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like on social media, like you see us really like working hard, but behind the scenes, we still have fun together.
So next thing, like, you know, this game is growing so fast. Why do you think flag football is growing so fast?
It's so much fun. It's so much fun. I like, even from when I started, like I really didn't know who was on the USA flag team, and I didn't know these things. And like now we see like professional football players scrimmaging in these flag football tournaments, like the Fanatics tournament. It's just like, it is such a fun game to be a part of. And I think that it does take away a little bit more of that aspect of like the concussions and getting hurt with football. Like it does take that away a little bit. It's still physical, still can get very physical, but I think that it brings more fun and energy to the game. I don't know. It's just like such a good fun time to be around. And it's like, I don't want to say this word, but it's like super swaggy. And it, like everything is about the drip. It's about like, you know, do you have the leg sleeve and the gloves, and like do you have the skill to pull it off too? So I don't know. It's pretty fun.
I got you. What about you?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be growing this fast, and I think a big part is just like the football thing. Like everybody loves football, and once they see like women play it, it gets a lot of attention. Like when I tell people that I play flag football, like they're very interested, like, and that kind of surprises me. But yeah.
Okay.
Coach, this is your inaugural episode. We are coming to an end now, but we have not talked at all about you. So why don't you give us a little bit of information on your background and your qualifications and what brought you here onto this show and as the head coach of the PNW flag football team?
Okay, so like I said earlier, I started at HTA. So HTA was a catching. I was a catch specialist, and I taught people how to catch the football. I started the business in college and just grew and turned into a flag football organization, flag football development. We went around the world multiple times, different camps and clinics, and then it became a sanctioned sport in Illinois. And then the next year, PNW started a flag football team, and so I was teaching math, and I was sitting in math one day. And I was like, man, I can't be doing algebra, man. Like, I really can't be doing this. I need to figure out how to do this flag football stuff full time. And I looked, and there was an ad for, a coach for flag football. So I applied, got the job, came here. But I want the world to see how fun this game is. Having two, student athletes that have never played, right, and for them to develop as fast as they have. I think this is it's going to lay the groundwork for the future, right? There's girls that, I want them to be able to inspire. They're going to be watching, right? They come to our games, 7, 8-year-old girls that have the ability to play flag that probably wouldn't have happened 10 years ago. So, I'm all about growing the game, and I want to make sure that everybody sees it.
So you're obviously a leader, being somebody who's a catch specialist and obviously now a head coach. You work with people, you teach them. Obviously somebody who's a leader, but now you're thrown into this position as, somewhat of a coordinator as well. So how different is that, being able to make playbooks? Obviously, even flag football on its own is a completely different playbook than your just average, tackle football game. So how has that been for you? How is making the offense, making the defense? Is there anything different? What goes on with that?
Okay, so I would say defensively, right, it's very similar to 7-on-7. So the coverages it's not that crazy, right? You go over the normal coverages, right, 0 to 4. And so, as long as you have athletes that just know what they're doing, it's very simple to call defenses, I would say. But offensively, you got to work with what you have, right? And so I think we are blessed to have a lot of great athletes, and but you have people that want the ball, so you got to make sure that people are involved. But the rush is very, very impactful. So, I would say in football, right, you have, 5 people on the offensive line that are like blocking 4 people. But, right, with flag football, you might have 1, you might have 2 people going against a girl who is super quick, super fast. So it's very fun and challenging to come up with plays that I know can work, and we can get the ball out, as in like our quarterback can throw the ball out within 2 to 3 seconds. So you got to, come up with routes that can get developed quicker than, deeper routes. You got to be, strategic when how you run the ball. So like I said, I'm having a lot of fun, but it's also really challenging, and I just know that I'm growing pretty quickly as a coach.
Awesome. Well, we are just about at the end of time here, so if you guys want to say any last words, wrap it up, all of you. Just give us your last thoughts, and we'll wrap it up here for your first show.
Okay. Lexi, will you do anything?
Come out to our next home game on Thursday.
Same thing.
Yeah, we're always having a good time, and don't underestimate flag football because we are going to make an impact here.
Plug the game more. Where, when, who's against?
April 2nd, Thursday, 1 o'clock at Dowling Park against Marion University. We played Marion on March 14th. We won 25 to 6 in 28-degree weather. Just let you know. So,
I covered that game, actually. So
you did?
I did. I put it on the radio. So
okay.
Your guys' first win. Don't worry. I'm on, you guys.
Okay.
I'm there. Don't worry about it.
I appreciate you. So are you going to go to the game?
Yeah, I will. It will be out. It will be over the radio the day after with the scores and hopefully some stats. So if you want to send me some stats, I can do a little bit more in depth for you guys.
I definitely will. No, yeah.
Right.
So, but also I would say follow us on Instagram, pnw.flag. We post a lot of content. We show a little bit of our practice stuff, and we just show our personalities. And so I think this is a great way for people to see beyond what they see. What they see on social media. So please follow us on Instagram. Thank you.